So he goes into the bathroom, and then he looks up and into the mirror, and it's this fucking Bimbo Bambi ghost thing standing in the mirror looking at him, saying, "I'm taking over now." I'm actually gonna ask you this, just from the get-go. Do you believe in ghosts?
Uh, well, I would say that I used not to, and then I haven't considered the question in like 10 years. Before we move on, I actually think that it would be better if you don't answer this question and address why you're asking it.
I just find it interesting, like, because there's always these really clever people who are atheists and stuff. I mean, I know clever and atheist going out. Me using those words in one sentence might seem strange, but no.
Yes.
But anyway, here's the thing. But there are very, very well-educated people that call themselves atheists that still like, yeah, I saw a ghost, and it's always been so strange to me, like that people are just so accepting of it, and
That's
I
like
mean,
me,
I can
you
just
know?
give,
I have saw
yeah,
a
okay.
ghost before when I was a kid.
Oh, you saw a ghost?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't really a ghost. I'm not sure what it was still, because I was a kid. Um, I guess you might want to hear this, but it's really just a fucking boring story. I was watching TV with my dad on the bed in his room,
Hmm.
and my dad went downstairs and he gave me the remote because we were watching TV and he wasn't going to watch anymore, so I could choose whatever I wanted to watch in the or whatever channel I wanted to put the TV on. And I don't remember why, but instead of putting the TV somewhere, I just turned off the TV. And then I was alone in the room, and it was silent because there was no one there. And I looked around, and to my left, like to the left of the TV, because the TV was like mounted on a wall, so it was like up, not. It was up, and um, to the left of the TV there came a fucking light, and I still don't fucking know what that light was. It was not coming from the wall or anything that would explain it, and it wasn't exactly a light because it wasn't like a the light that comes out of a light bulb or something. It was more like a I'm not sure. I haven't seen one, but I think it's probably what like aurora borealis or whatever you call those. Like you know what I mean, right?
Spirit orbs?
What
I
spirit
mean,
orbs? I'm
was it
not
like
sure
I
what it
don't.
was. Like I still don't know what
Okay,
it
no,
was.
what was it
Okay, so,
like?
so let
Yeah.
me finish first. Okay, what happens is I see that and it starts to grow and change colors, and I don't remember what colors it were, but like it's changing color and it's glowing, and I'm looking at it, and I'm not sure, like I'm fucking 6 or something, uh, and I'm just looking at it while still laying bad, like not reacting, and then it starts to grow and grow and grow, and then I get incredibly fucking scared, like really fucking scared, and then I just bolt out of the room. I jump 2 flights of stairs in 2 jumps, and then I meet my father, and he sees that I'm fucking scared, and he asks me what's wrong, and I say nothing, because I'm not sure why I said no, but that's what I said, and I didn't tell him at the time, and I'm not sure. I think I kind of forgot it for several months later, um, and I still don't know what it was, which happens, I guess. But it was 20 years ago, so
Mm.
I'm kind of an atheist, and I'm kind of someone who saw ghosts, kind of. So go ahead.
No, my question was gonna be, this light, was it like more a streaming sort of light across the wall, or was it like a ball? I did not understand this.
It wasn't either of those. The light was suspended in the air. That's the best way to
Mm.
describe it. But it wasn't a sphere or anything. It didn't have a shape like a sphere. It was more like a curtain, I guess.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
that's why I said Aurora Borealis. You know, it has like that
Oh,
dancing
okay.
thing. That's how I think about it. So
Mm.
yeah.
No, I got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like from what you said and like
I don't
what
think it was a
you
fucking
said,
ghost, by the way. I just mentioned it because uh,
it was a strange phenomenon.
that I can't fucking explain. And I'm not crazy, at least not schizophrenic crazy. So, you know, it, it isn't exactly scientific. So,
No, because I also seen like when I was a kid, like I saw this wasn't a ghost. This was like a little flying saucer that I saw. It was strange, like, but that I can or maybe not. But I was sitting like in the living room upstairs and watching
mm-hmm.
TV, and then I see like in the corner of my eye, or not half in the corner of my eye, half in my full view. Like imagine like a flying saucer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like small. It's like just the size of a football, like or maybe two footballs. So it's not. I mean, I could hold it in my two hands, like if I carried it, and I
Mm-hmm.
just see it spinning like in a downward motion and then disappearing. And I was just like a kid. I was like, "Oh, that's a UFO." And then I was like, "Yeah, what? Yeah, whoa, what the fuck?" And then I go to the window, but then
Did
obviously it's
you
gone.
did you actually catch it in the center of your eye, or was that all happening on the
50-50.
corner? Oh, I
It
see.
was like
Because
50. It's hard to really
yeah,
explain, but
and it's also easier to dismiss it, right? Because in the corner of your eye, a lot of shit happens which doesn't make sense, which is why you look at it and then things like focus on, and you
mm.
can actually understand what's happening. So maybe you just rationalize it as a saucer, but it could have been anything.
Yeah, it could have been a frisbee. That's what I think it was. Like, but then again, we don't have any frisbees where I was from at the time. Like, or there shouldn't have been a frisbee there. Let's say that. But then I've heard like some of my friends said they see a flying saucer and stuff. Like an actual flying saucer. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like with aliens. But now we're talking about ghosts, okay? Ghosts,
Yes.
fucking
Okay, but
scary, dummy thick ghosts from Japan.
I should
Okay.
also mention this, which it's not really relevant probably, but I did also remember, not now, but like I said to you that I forgot about it for like a few months, right?
Mm.
I also have a memory, and I don't think it's the same day necessarily, but I do know that it's like the same period, and that's the only explanation which had any meaning in my head, even though it's not really like it doesn't really make sense, but I guess it's the only explanation. So um, I do remember singing a song in praise of the Mother of God, the Virgin Mary.
Mother of God. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So I do think that maybe the fucking light was the Mother of God. I actually don't
Who
really know
knows?
what it is. So um, I still kind of because I was so fucking scared as a child of that light. I still wonder what would happen if I hadn't left. Because
Oh, you left the room. That's what you mean, right?
yes. Like why? Because it's different, right? Normally in ghost stories, what happens is the ghost leaves or something,
Mm. Yeah.
Because how do I put it? It's like it's usually not up for the person who is being quote unquote haunted whether or not uh, the ghost stays or not. But in my case, I chose to leave, so I kind of wonder
Yeah.
what would have happened.
Yeah. Maybe it was scared that you were gonna pull a gun on you because Brazil. You know.
I don't think our ghosts are armed, but I could be wrong.
I do no, but I do see a point though that it is interesting that it's never up to like the person being haunted when the thing leaves.
Yes.
So in a strange way, you did leave and didn't see anything, but was it because of you or the quote unquote ghost? You
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
see what your point. I see your point. I the thing is like
The other
I
thing.
have a lot.
Sorry. because what you just mentioned actually made me pick up on something else, which is because the moment if like let's for a second assume that it's sentient, right? Whatever it was, when I was 6, whatever it was sentient. It kind of waited for my dad to leave the room before it showed up to me, which is another reason why I thought before that it might have been the Virgin Mary, because that would make sense, but or it could be a ghost and it was trying to I'm not sure, possess me or something. I'm not sure what the ghost do. You're the ghost expert, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Like the thing is, no, I hear what you point about sentience. The thing is though that but I have so many fucking ghost stories. And I realized that maybe I have more than the average person, but
Wait,
there's one that what?
yours? Like you experienced ghosts?
Yeah. I saw one because my grandmother lived in a flat in like a smaller town, and I was going. How do I explain it? So it's a hallway to the left, kitchen, and then at the end of the hallway, bedroom on the right, living room on the left. Okay. So as I'm going down this hallway, I'm gonna go left to my dad and my I think my whole family was there. In the corner of my eye to the right, like and here's the thing, it's not corner of the eye, but you know how you kind of when you walk down you look up and then look left where you're going, sort of. That's sort of how humans work.
What?
And then when I look,
I don't do that. When you go down, you look up, and
no,
when you go
not
left, you
up,
look
not
right.
down. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. I meant forward.
Okay.
When you're
So-
walking forward, and then I took a quick glance to the right.
Okay, I think I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. So in this quick glance, I see this shrouded figure in black sitting on the bed, on my grandmother's bed, just sitting there, and it had no face. It was just shrouded all in black, like a bright. Imagine that you have one of those lampshades, right? And then on this lampshade, you put on a bridal veil, like the bride thing that they put on in black. But there was no. That's how wide the fucking thing's head was. But it was like all clothed in black.
So let's rule out a few things. This is something that happened while you were awake, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was high on ecstasy, but that I don't think that has anything to do with anything. Okay.
I don't think ecstasy actually causes hallucinations, but good try.
I was a 6-year-old high on ecstasy. No, I was kidding.
Okay. Say LSD, shrooms, something like that. So you looked at the fucking thing with. Did you only glance, or did you actually stare?
Is there like a midpoint between glance and stare?
How long did it take for you to notice that the thing wasn't there anymore? Let's put it that way.
No,
I assume
here's
that.
the thing.
Huh.
Here's the thing. I remember seeing that thing for 1 second, then looking left and thinking, I'm not dealing with that. I am not dealing with that. And then went into the living room. That's what I thought. And then I just went into the living room.
Did you look at that again after that? Like, was there like, I'm not sure, like, because usually
No one was.
it's like a
Yeah, I
coat
mean,
in the chair which looked like a person, you know?
no. After there was nothing there.
And no coat either.
No, it was my grandmother had it was famous to us in the family, but she had this. What is it called? Anyway, she had a handmade sheet that she put over her bed that she had made herself, and it was completely white. That's why this black thing also stood out.
Was it dark in the room or was it clear?
No, it was daylight.
Huh. That's interesting. And so you said it had no face, right? Was it looking at you, like in your direction?
I couldn't see the face. That's the thing, because that's a more correct way of saying it. Like the veil was so thick that I couldn't see the face.
Uh,
But I
did it
remember it doing
cover
the
all
weird
of it?
thing. Let me explain this, Neil. It's very important. I
Sure.
remember just the way it held its arms. That's the thing that I found scary, right? Because it had it like with its palms up, like its elbows was on the bed and its palms up, and it's sitting there, like sort of, bending forward. Anyway, go on. I just wanted to say like how it looked as much as I could.
So now I have two questions instead of one. Um,
Yeah,
so when you say that you had, like, the thing had its elbows on the bed, does it mean
yeah.
that the chair was turned towards the bed, or was it
No, it
not?
was sitting on the bed.
Oh, it's sitting on the bed. Okay, sorry. And
Mm.
then I actually forgot my other question because I couldn't ask it before. So,
Oh, sorry
um,
about that, bro.
no, it's when you talked about the hood
Mm.
covering the face, and you said you thought it had no face, but then you said that the face was too covered to tell if it had a face. So which is it? Does it have no face, or was it too covered?
I think it did have a face under it. I mean, thinking of it, I did see like a silhouette of a head under it. I think. Yes, but it
Mm,
was a long time ago. So.
okay, yeah, makes sense. I have experienced what looking at someone without a face is like, but in my case, it was ecstasy.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. It was an ecstasy. I haven't done ecstasy before. It was. Um, I'm not sure if you guys have it under the same name. It's called benflogin, something like that.
Okay.
It's like throat medication, but if you take a lot of it instead of just letting it on your tongue, if you drink a lot of it, you get a lot of weird stuff happening to you, like altered perception of time. Uh, if you move your hands when you're under the effect, like in front of your eyes, you see like this after effect of the hand, like it has like
Mhm.
this blurred delay. Very cool thing.
Mm.
And it also made me see a friend for a second or two have no face. He was pretty fucking close to me, and I fucking screamed. And
Mm.
then he turned on the light because it was dark, and he talked to me, and then I calmed down for a second, and then I explained to him what happened because he was, that feeling whether he didn't know whether he was supposed to laugh at me or if it was actually, dangerous or something. So
Mm.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
ghosts and drugs kind of go together, I suppose.
In a way, yeah. No, like I see what you mean because it's like a lagging feeling, like a lag in a video game almost.
Are you insinuating a previous conversation we had before we started recording, or am I reading too much into this?
No, no, no. I actually asked you about the drug itself that you said you took.
Yes.
Is it like sort?
I
It's
mean,
like a
there.
lag.
It's not exactly a lag. It's like a visual lag. Like it's
Mm.
have you ever had that bug in Windows where you like have to move a window to another place and there's like a track of windows that
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
so it's like that with everything, especially if it's bright. You can do it with your
Mm.
hand. You can do it like with a cell phone, with a flashlight. It your vision. It looks as if you compare your vision to your monitor screen, you
Mm.
can think of it as a track which uh, follows whatever object is being moved. Um,
Mm.
and that's just a visual effect. There's other effects which happen, and I don't remember them all since it was. Sure, that was like 15 years ago or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
But to get back to, because you said you didn't want to answer the question at the moment, but if we look at all
Wait,
the
what?
evidence there is, no,
What?
no, you're gonna
What question?
understand what I mean.
Oh, the ghost. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the thing is like it's like, I mean, both have these stories, but I have more stories than this, but they are more related to. Here's what I'm gonna say: like, you see weird shit in the woods. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, and everyone who's been in the woods know this. Like, you see weird fucking shit in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So, because a lot of it is like uncharted. You know, you might go where I lived, right? You might go into a part of the woods no one has been in like 50 years or something. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, my so I do have more stories, but they're more out there. You know, the part where it's like what you know, when it's like, oh, I was afraid no one was gonna believe me if I told this. It's like that times 50. So that's like, oh yeah, I don't want to tell them, not at the moment at least.
Mm-hmm.
But my point here is this: that with anecdote, because I mean, we have to treat both your story and mine as anecdotes at the very best, right?
I
But
mean, I'll treat yours like an anecdote and mine is a fact.
exactly, it actually fucking happened. Like in your case, it fucking happened. In my case, it was, I was being high. I was just being a
Yes.
retard.
Yes. Exactly.
That's actually what the ghost was there to tell me. You're a fucking retard. Suck my dick, and then he just left. That's actually what happened.
Mm-hmm.
No, but anyway, the thing is, like, I did ask ChatGPT, like, give me 5 arguments against ghosts and 5 arguments for ghosts, and then one argument critical of both sides. And the thing is, like, the thing it, like, I mean, the 5 arguments against, like, should you even, is it even fun to run through them? We like already know them.
No,
So
it's like you can ask. I'm not sure anyone, and they will probably give. You know,
those 5.
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what five they chose, but I'm pretty sure there's more than five, and yeah,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of people
yes.
could come up with five. So.
Yeah, no, it's, I can actually list them because they sorry, ChatGPT put them in like a very nice list.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, lack of scientific evidence, logical inconsistency, psychological explanations, which ties in, you know, to above,
Mm-hmm.
cultural and historical context. Essentially, yes, I'm just gonna say this briefly. What it means is that why is one ghost looking like that there and a ghost looking like that there? It makes no sense. That's sort of what it
Because
said later. And then
silly
Oka,
Chat GPT doesn't know that a Mexican ghost and an Italian ghost are different races of ghosts.
yes, the Italians, they just go around. I don't know, being they want people to put pineapple on pizza or something. I don't know.
Yes, that's what they do.
Yeah,
You
and
don't
then
know
Occam's
what
race.
the Mexicans haunt though.
I mean, can you imagine how horrible it must be if ghosts exist in Mexico?
I mean, they
Because
have
here's
like
also,
Dia dos Muertos or something, right?
yeah, and then the thing is, like, the reason, one of the biggest arguments against ghosts actually and poltergeist is that if they existed, there would be no drug cartels in Mexico because all their victims would just come and kill them in their sleep.
What if ghosts exist but they're really fucking weak? Like they can't do anything. So, you know, whoever is living can just hit a ghost, and that's why they run away every time. It's like they don't like being seen because they are afraid of you. It's not like
Yeah,
we see them and we're scared, but actually it's the opposite, right? They're scared
yeah,
of us.
yeah. They're essentially like that Senator Armstrong. That's what his name is, right? We are Senator Armstrong, and then the other guy that I don't know the name of is just punching.
I
You know
like
the meme
the
I'm talking
music.
about.
I like the music of the meme.
Yeah, and then you have Occam's razor is the last reason that it lists.
Uh,
So
oh,
it's
Occam's
an
razor, yeah.
yeah, and then for ghosts, the only thing I'm gonna say, I mean, you have the whole unexplained phenomena and, you know, personal testimonials. But what's interesting to me is that for in both for and against, they have historical and cultural accounts.
Yes, I actually was gonna mention that because when you said historical and cultural, I thought, uh, you know that independently, cultures which never talked to each other came with this idea, right? So
Mm.
why are you saying that that's an argument against the existence of ghosts when, if you're actually looking at it objectively, you realize that there are two independent sources of evidence. You realize that this is not, well, the Mexicans. I mean, I shouldn't fucking use the Mexicans again because it actually doesn't make sense in this analogy. If the African tribes, do you know any African tribe names?
I know the memes, but I do know. Oh, no, you mean names. Sorry,
Yes,
you have
yes.
the most famous ones is the Zulu tribe.
Okay, so is it Zulu like with a Z or an S?
Assad.
Okay, so I'll say Zulu. So
Yes.
the Zulu have ghosts, and the Guarani in Brazil, I think it's in Brazil. Yeah, it's in Brazil. The Zulu and the Guarani both have ghosts. They have no actual contact except maybe 20,000 years ago, maybe more, probably more. So you either have to say that this belief, which isn't real, has lasted 20,000 years, or they both came up with them independently. And so, do you really think that it's a coincidence, or can you maybe assume that they're both talking about the same phenomena? And so that's why I think it's a lousy argument to come up with cultural and history as an explanation against ghosts. It's the opposite.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Like, that they come up with the same entity independent of each other. Because what
They
it's
can't.
saying
It
here.
doesn't make sense for it to be independent. It has to be the same cause.
Yeah, no, okay, I see where I went wrong with what I said. No, I'm seeing your argument that it is strange that two different tribes on two different continents came up with the same entity, and then to use that against the existence of ghosts then doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Because what it said here, if I just say what it says, cultural and historical context, this is the against ghost argument. The belief in ghosts varies significantly across cultures and historical periods. The diversity and consistency of ghost encounters suggests that cultural and contextual factors heavily influence people's perceptions and interpretations of these experiences, rather than pointing to a universal truth.
So, because ghosts don't all look alike, then there are no ghosts.
Yes, that's sort of what it's saying, I guess.
Which is
Even
why
though they
it's
do
fucking
look the same.
stupid.
Yeah, dude, you just won against ChatGPT in an argument.
I mean, that's really fucking easy. It's wrong all the fucking time. Like, do you want? I can just open my conversations with it and show like all the fucking errors it does, if I can find it here.
But here's the thing. This is the interesting one. One argument critical of both sides, and what it's literally saying that, I mean, I agree with it. What it's saying is that human perception is inherently subjective, and then it goes listing on that one that we cannot really use because it just to keep in mind now in this argument what ChatGPT does is it criticizes both sides. The criticizing it does for the ghost side, for like pro ghost side, is that it says we can't use subjective encounters to prove something. But then the criticism it levels against the anti-ghost side is you need to understand that you have biases, and you're letting these biases take over too much, so we get nowhere. That's essentially the argument criticism it gives against the anti-ghost side.
I don't like either argument. Oh, okay.
I mean, I agree with that.
Explain? You want me to explain why? So please run the arguments by me again, so I can actually address them properly.
Let me actually read exactly what it says so I don't get it
You,
wrong.
you don't need
The
to.
subject.
I just need to
No,
remember
it's
what you
not that
said
long.
properly. Okay.
It's not that long actually. The subjective nature of perception. Human perception
Oh,
is
okay.
inherently
That's
subjective.
enough. I'm sorry. That's enough. The problem with this argument of the subjective nature of perception is it actually claims that there is something that is objective, and of course there is something which is objective. The problem is how you define it, and you're basically, by arguing that something's subjective as opposed to objective, you're saying, well, since it's subjective, it's not reliable. But the problem is there is not anything that can come up as objective that hasn't passed through subjectivity. Or are you
No, I
going to
agree.
say that a scientist looking under a microscope isn't using his eyes to look under a microscope? So you can't eliminate the human element out of anything at all. So you can't
No,
say
no, no.
that,
I agree.
oh, this is, subjective, so it's wrong, or, oh, this is very objective because, three people saw it. So it's not, it doesn't work like that. So I don't buy it. And the other one, I don't remember anymore. So if you could read it, please.
What was the last part you said? The last sentence.
I asked you to read the other argument, which was on the pro side and talked about biases, I think.
No, here's the thing. It baked them both together. That's the issue not the error I made. So this is the full argument. But the first part you got right. But the human perception is inherently subjective, influenced by personal beliefs, biases, and psychological factors. Both proponents and skeptics of ghosts can be swayed by confirmation bias, selectively interpreting or dismissing evidence that aligns with their preconceived notions. Therefore, it is crucial to approach debate with critical thinking and recognize the limitations of personal experiences and interpretations when evaluating the
Yeah,
existence of ghosts.
yeah, that's not an argument though. So I agree, but it's not an argument. It's saying you should wash your hands after you use the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that. But
Yeah,
it's
I
not an
mean,
argument for or against anything.
I mean, to be fair, dude, like I didn't say like go super critical and give me 5 unique ways of being critical. I just did this in like 2 minutes. But I see your point though.
Yeah, it's like if you got the grilling centrist from PCM to give you an argument for ghosts or against ghosts, it would give you that.
Yeah, so since we both agree on this, let's move on to something else. But before that, I have one of the best ghost stories I've ever heard. I I I actually just wanted to talk to you about ghosts first, but then I remembered I just read this ghost story recently that I need to tell you this.
Before you do,
It's
I have a very short story which I just remember. It's not really a story. 2 days ago, no, that was actually fucking today, because I haven't slept yet. I heard a voice.
Could it be
And
because you haven't slept in a long time?
yes, it probably was, to be honest. But I did hear a voice, and it said my name, and I thought it was my mom, so I went to her room, and she was asleep. So I closed the door, and I'm still fucking figuring it out, because I don't want to go crazy. So why the fuck did I hear a voice? Because besides my mom, there's no one else in the house. So, very short story, which I just told you.
Yeah, no, but I mean, how long had you been up at that point?
Uh, I still don't know. Like, not even that long, I think, like 18 hours maybe. It's not too weird. But I am, like, I have, my schedule is sort of fucked up. I'm waking up at night and going to sleep. Like, I'm going to sleep an hour after this, which will be like 4 p.m. for me. So,
Mm.
that should tell you enough.
Yeah, yeah, though this will be a shorter stream actually, but we can like talk for another 15 minutes or something because then I need to go.
Okay.
But I do have this amazing ghost story. It's the here's the thing. I hope that you understand no references here. Because that proves that you're not as online that I am. Because Jesus fucking Christ, this was bad. Like this one.
Okay.
So, the story goes, it starts where for some reason this ungodly thing has been brought up to the collective. It's dying down, but it's spiked up because Michael Knowles talked about it. And he talked about, okay, we need to be very careful now when we talk because we don't want to break any TOS or anything. And I don't want to go in and, censor words and stuff, okay?
I think you can criticize or comment on other people's works. You just can't copy it or plagiarize it.
No. It's certain words. No, naughty, bad words you can't say.
Oh, okay.
So there was so Michael Knowles had an interview like 1 or 2 weeks ago, labeled. I hope you don't know what this is, like what I'm about to tell you. But he says the interview is, there is this, I think, okay, I know what word to use. He said there's this adult videos online that hypnotizes men into becoming women. Please tell me you don't know what I'm talking about.
I do.
When
and
I say
also,
that.
I do, and I
No,
also
my
saw
God.
an image. I think it was a meme because I was in 4chan, and it mentioned someone commenting on this, but I didn't know who. I still don't know who Michael whatever is, but
Michael Knowles.
because I'm not a YouTube
But anyway,
guy. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but he had an interview with someone who had studied this phenomena and why, man. And I was like, Jesus Christ, are they doing it? Are they actually bringing sissification, hypnosis into it? I can't say those. It's a third word. I can't say the P word. That's the word I don't want to say. Okay.
Which P word?
The word that rhymes with prawn.
You lost me. I don't know.
Oh my fucking god, are you retarded? Look in your chat.
Can you just... Oh, but that doesn't rhyme with prawn. If prawn it ends with AWN. This ends with ORN. It doesn't rhyme. Not my fault.
Anyway, you're still a retard. But that's just because...
Why not rhymes with born or corn or... I'm not sure. Do I need to think of a better word?
Torn.
Yes. You could think of a better word to rhyme than prawn. Which doesn't rhyme.
Anyway, this Michael Knowles dude had this expert in... Can you imagine being an expert in sissification hypnosis? Like, what have you done that...
What he gives lectures, I want to learn.
Exactly. No, it was a woman. But what roads have you walked so that...
never mind, I take that back. I don't want to learn from a woman.
Because it worked, right?
Yeah.
It was so bad at first, and that's why he's so passionate. No, I watched it too much. Now a woman. No. Anyway, here's the ghost story. So
I understood that, but go ahead.
This is the ghost story. So there was this apparently, and I can't say how it will make sense how I know this later. But anyway, there was the Reddit posts read, "Help everyone! I think I've summoned a Tulpa. And this Tulpa is this character from the very common known character apparently within the... No. In the Sissy Hypno.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a character this character that's very common in those threads had like manifested. And he said that he could focus on his work.
Sorry, I need to know what character that is so I can actually picture. Do you have any clues for me to find out what the character is?
The name is Bambi. That's the name of the character.
Really?
Yes, that's the name.
That's not Bambi the deer.
No.
Right?
No, it's
okay.
It's a bimbo woman.
Bambi, bimbo, I can't say the word, right?
No.
Okay.
No, you can, not the P word. But anyway, here's the thing. And he said that this... Yeah,
Couldn't find it.
yeah, but anyway, I can send you a link later. The thing is that this character, he says, was like he was working, and this character started coming into his mind and saying, "I'm taking over. I'm taking over." And he ran into the bathroom and had to excuse himself with his fucking veggie job, right? So he goes into the bathroom, and then he looks up and into the mirror, and it's this fucking Bimbo Bambi ghost thing standing in the mirror looking at him, saying, "I'm taking over now. I'm in your, I'm the one calling the shots now." And then he had like a debate with this like bimbo or something, like this apparent bimbo tulpa thing in the mirror, and he starts to cry because the thing in the mirror starts taking over, and he had to. Then he went to his boss and said he's feeling sick and had to go home. And he goes home, and then he writes it in this subreddit. Do you know what subreddit it was? It was r/Tulpas. An actual fucking paranormal fucking subreddit. And to make things worse was that in the comment section, everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, we heard about this before. It's a common thing, a common phenomenon, this Bambi Bimbo Tulpa thing." I mean, this is insane. I'm like, dude is being dude is being haunted by OnlyFans girl. Can you imagine like a worse fate? Like this, it's being fucking, it's being haunted by a thought. It's so funny. It's like I'm sorry, it's just so funny.
I should say, the reason I didn't ask you to give me a definition of what a tulpa is because I have in the past tried to make one, which you might find interesting. And I also, this I'm not sure if it's interesting or not, but I do remember going to a forum about tulpas, and this is why I asked about whether the character was from My Little Pony, because it was all the fucking rage, and every fucking My Little Pony fan was getting a fucking tulpa because they wanted their waifus to be real.
Oh
and I remember arguing back and forth about this guy who was saying, because one of the things, like you said, tulpas are a paranormal phenomena, but like, I'm not sure if the culture changed or something, but before it was like a psychological thing. And they were, like, there was this guy complaining that the tulpa was taking over his body, like by possession. And it wasn't, a scary tulpa, it was a fucking My Little Pony character. And I remember him saying that it was probably a good thing because he didn't like his life.
Okay.
And when the tulpa was in control, she did things way better than him. So it was probably better if he faded away and the tulpa took control. And then I was trying to because I was very gullible, I suppose, when I was a teenager. I was trying to fucking tell him to stop trying to fucking suicide by horse tulpa. But he just kept going. And then I remember thinking, okay, maybe I don't want to make a tulpa after all. And then I stopped visiting that forum. But I do think that it's at least... I actually want to think about this. Do you think it is still a psychological phenomenon and you just called it paranormal? Or did it actually change to become a paranormal thing?
The tulpa.
Yes.
So tulpa, yes, so we're on the same page. Let me define it first and you tell me if I'm wrong. A tulpa is, as this poor Coomer sissy person found out, supposedly a tulpa is something that you, in your mind, you pray to this, you get it to come into existence, and the paranormal one is that it's like it becomes like a spirit that you can interact with, and then as you said, then not as you said, but then the paranormal story is that it either tries to possess you or it tries to kill you, but then the psychological phenomena you're talking about would be more in line with, yeah, you bring this thing into your forefront and then you become and start acting more like this Tulpa fictional character that you created.
Not exactly, no. What I meant by psychological is that there is no spiritual explanation for what a Tulpa is. It's just a psychological phenomenon, like multiple personality disorder.
Okay, it's a phenomenon. That's what you mean. Okay, phenomenon.
Yes, with the exception of the fact that in the case of Tulpas, you can actually create them voluntarily. Well, multiple personality disorder, you're just screwed because you don't want them.
I mean,
because the reason I'm interested is because it would serve as a marker of the change of the culture, because it does seem to me that people are sort of getting more. I'm not sure if religious is the right word, but I don't think it's spiritual either. It's more like they're losing faith in science, maybe, which is a good thing, by the way, because faith is for religion, science is for facts. So,
true. Yeah. No. What? So you mean that people are starting to put their faith into these tulpas rather than themselves, or what do you mean?
I mean that they no longer think that science has the answer, so they're looking.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Also, the Bimbo thing is not a character; it's actually a person. I think.
The what?
The Bimbo sissification thing.
Yeah, I can.
It's a person.
Yeah, I can send you some links after we're done, because I guess, yeah, as I said, this was a shorter stream because I need to go soon. But I just gonna end, or not end with, but with my closing thoughts, like this Tulpa coming for us all. Is that I hate doing this, but I fucking wish it was real. That thing, because that would be the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. That some
Are
Coomer.
You sure just don't want to be a sissy though.
Exactly, right?
Okay.
The thing is that the idea of a Coomer that goes so far to actually bring something out of another plane to that starts possessing him, and then I started thinking, what if the devil has to do to send his legions to hell is rather than put his demons looking scary and stuff, just make them look like pretty girls. Then they will, to possess everyone. It's fine. All his legions are gonna take over, man.
It's copyrighted. It's a succubus. You can't say that.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Don't pretend you're coming up with this. You fucking fraudster. Plagiarizing people.
But yeah,
do
your final thoughts, because then I do need to go. But continue.
Yeah, as long as we're talking about what we're going to do later, and also closing thoughts, make sure that this episode's title is not just ghosts. It has to also include drugs, because I actually fucking talked way too much about drugs, even though you meant for it to be a ghost episode.
No, we can talk more about ghosts another time. I'm gonna do exactly right. I'm gonna see if I can find the update to that poor man getting taken.
Okay, you don't believe that. You don't believe that.
I want to believe. That's the thing. I want to believe that there's a fucking Bimbo Demon trying to take over this poor man. It's so funny.
It's a shitpost. Come on.
I want it to be real so bad. I know it's a shitpost. It's probably a fucking shitpost. But
probably.
Here's the thing. The reason.
You're entertaining the idea that maybe there is a spirit which was created from the fantasies of a Coomer, which is now haunting him.
It's so funny. It's It's so fucking funny. I don't know why it's so funny. It's just I feel because like he could die. Like he could fucking get because like if okay obviously I don't want it to be real. Okay, that's okay. I will concede that to you that I don't want it to be real, but because like because I feel so bad because like if let's say because since I'm a Christian, right, and if that thing turned to be real, I would obviously assume immediately it's a fucking demon, and now I feel bad because there is like a fucking like an OnlyFans demon girl going after this man. It's so bad. So poor him, man. Poor him. I
mean,
I wanted to say
succubuses are kind of old news, though.
Yeah.
You can't. This is not. I'm trying to think about like two guys in a bar, like in the 1100s, just talking about the fact that succubuses can't be real, and I feel like this conversation has been had before, and there is someone arguing it's so funny that it has to be real, and it's so funny that it can't be real.
Oh yeah, no, I remember what I was gonna say. Here's the thing. Yeah. No, on the Tulpa, like that post, when he put that, whatever you want to call it, let's say his post, okay, in there, there were people in the comments saying, yes, they were like acting like this was common. Like people would always go to the Tulpa subreddit because this had happened to them and they needed help.
You did mention that.
That's why I'm like, okay, this guy might actually, in his own view, be telling what he thinks is real. I should also mention, for clarity's sake, because this is really important, because I don't want to spread misinformation, even though, like, I know we don't have fucking, big numbers or anything, but is that that subreddit that the whole hypnosis thingy takes place on is notorious for taking hallucinogenic drugs. So, if that dude is, like, in his way telling the truth in his post, he's probably on some crazy fucking shit. Hallucinogenics.
And even if he wasn't, if he was just, if there's like 1,000 people doing this and 10 of them had anxiety and they were trying really hard to focus on this one thing that they're obsessed about, then if they thought there was a possibility of it happening because they heard that it was possible, because people from Tulpa forums say that it's possible, then anything could have seemed like what they were seeing, and then they just got so fucking scared that they actually did hallucinate that it was real. So it doesn't even require drugs, I don't think. They were just how they put this, scared into believing it was real. And I mean, I guess it's like an awakened dream, right? You're awake, but you're experiencing something that you thought you wanted, and then you realize that you actually don't. And this is kind of this is not exactly part of the episode, but it was something that I wanted to ask you. What do you think the brain, or I guess the personality of a person who goes to voluntarily be sissified is like? I don't understand the perspective at all.
I mean, let's see that for next show, because it's an interesting subject.
You want an episode about sissification?
Yes, exclusively. No, but I also need to go. That's why too, and I also need to explain the whole phenomena that you had some questions about. So,
which one?
But no. But let's end it here for now, okay?
Oh, I see. Okay. Don't forget to name it Ghost Drugs, okay?
Okay. But, just end the stream on your end. But to everyone else who was listening, thank you for listening. See you later.
Yeah.